Karim Beldjillali.
Wait a sec. Okay, wait.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Hello, hi Zoomers, hi Roomers. Good to see you all. Thank you for the invitation and the joy of being here with you all. It's such a beautiful community, so I just want to thank you. And thank you for setting me up the Sunday before Thanksgiving to talk about forgiveness. This feels, it's like a comedy movie, except I'm in it. So I want to thank you for that. I think it's just such a blessing to speak about this topic, not only because of this time of year where Thanksgiving is part of the invitation too, and the connection between forgiving and Thanksgiving. But just where we are right now as a community, as a world, where we are bursting forth to connect with each other, to find commonality, building bridges. And I sense a deep need for peace and understanding too. We've had a rough several years. And so this topic of forgiveness is an incredibly rich invitation, a continuous one, I would say. And the thing I was struck by first in attempting to write this talk or give it is maybe it's not really mine to give. Karim reminded me this morning to invite the wisdom of the room, of the former and teachers that were here, all the wisdom that's been spoken. So maybe we co-create this conversation today about forgiveness. So I want to thank you for playing a role in this. I've already, you might have seen me, furiously started writing several of your songs down because you basically stole my notes. I might have to sing through the rest of this. But there are just so many rich topics that we have touched on through the music today. But one of the big things I wanted to cover is that forgiveness might not be a thing or an occasion or an event, but that it's a perspective. That we can attune to a way of being that would allow someone on the cross to say, "Forgive them, for they know not what they are doing," and have the grace, the wherewithal to come from that place at the height of their pain and suffering. That there is something moving between us that is wiser than an individual, that is grace, and that it's always operating. I don't know about you, but I think of forgiveness sometimes as just like this event, this thing that happens. It's almost like a transaction, right? It's like something bad happens, work on this, try to get to forgiveness, forgive. And that's a bit what I'm working through and hopefully sharing with you today, that maybe it's my mindset throughout that can invite this elegant dance of forgiveness, this grace. Something that also doesn't seem so momentous because it's my perspective. It's not this huge thing I have to do to forgive this event or this thing that somebody said to me or didn't do or withheld from me. It also, I wonder for many of us, if it allows us to reclaim our power. Forgiveness is also withheld, and I think falsely, under the premise that we are holding some sort of power over the situation by withholding it. That our giving of forgiveness, of love, of ourselves, of our pain and vulnerability is somehow controlling the situation, somehow making it better. So my talk today is really a call to freedom, that's what forgiveness really is. A call also to our fuller power, the truth of who we fully are, and to orient ourselves to forgiveness as a way of being. The counter is really, how well is it working out for you not doing that? I know that's where I go, right? Like, how much resentment can I clutter my life with? How many stories, how many, patterns can I keep looking for? Oh, there he goes again, being such and such. How much clutter does that create in my life? And would I not love spaciousness? Would I not love to have this ebb and flow, this dance between us, rather than tripping over all our baggage, all our stories, all our resentments? And the Buddhists are brilliant about this. They confront being present in the moment, being attuned to the aliveness of the moment by having us connect directly to our suffering. It's happening. We can deny it, but it's always happening. The room's too cold. He chews with his mouth open again, right? The yogurt exploded at me this morning when I opened it. These all happened to me, by the way, in the last hour. All fresh stuff. You got to work with what you have. And it's always there, isn't it? It's ever present, these moments that just don't meet our expectations. And sometimes hurt even more when they don't meet our ideals. When they're big things like injustice, hatred. And yet, we are advised to look at our attachment. Nicholas spoke to it before, how we can grow attached to the right thing, how it should be, our judgment. Can we free ourselves of that? Is forgiveness not an invitation to say, maybe there's more than that? Maybe you can let go of that. Maybe there is another perspective, a third perspective, rather than living this binary of black and white. I'm right, you're wrong. Here you go again. Here I go again. That beyond this place of right and wrong, I will meet you there. And I would like to meet you there. We have to connect, I think, deeply within ourselves to see, do we really want to meet you there? And I would say we do. That there is this spaciousness, this aliveness that we are all deeply, deeply yearning for. That is just beyond this place of right and wrong. So consider how attached you are. How much clenching, clinging, grasping are we doing? Are our storylines really that comforting to us? Or are they just really distractions, forays, misadventures that we could just choose differently from? Sorry for the grammar there. Forgive me. Yet again. So, in this spaciousness that we're hopefully getting to, I wonder what can come of it. In the Quran, it says something brilliant, I think. It says, by God's mercy, you are gentle to them. And had you been harsh and hard-hearted, surely life would have scattered from around you. Harsh and hard-hearted, surely life would have scattered from around you. The richness of our lives, I would offer to you, is directly related to our capacity to forgive. Our hard-heartedness, our closedness, life will scatter from us. Things will ossify, things will feel smaller. And so where can we find our gentleness and allow God's mercy to move through us and around us? Wasn't it in a song today? finding a state of grace, allowing that to move through us, allowing God's mercy to move through us. And then raising the veil to allow God to just let go of separation. The Quran goes on, it says to forgive is to trust God. To trust God. It's to surrender ourselves that we don't really know the answer. Maybe it's not about us. And maybe it moves through us. And we can allow. That almost had me drive off the freeway as I was thinking about it today on the way here. Just this idea of, well, that and the rest of the Long Island drivers. Forgive them. That trust is such at the core of this conversation around forgiveness. This does not mean that we allow injustice or condone it or not play our part in seeking justice and righting a wrong, but to engage trust as one of our senses, as one of our ways of engaging with the Spirit, with each other, to move this forward, to move ourselves forward, to free ourselves, to live more of life, to connect to the vibration, the vibrancy of life, rather than be stuck in the pain, in the story. All things have a season, and that season too shall pass. The Tao says it differently, but the same. If a person seems wicked, do not cast them away. Awaken them with your words. Elevate them with your deeds. Recite their injury with your kindness. Such grace, such generosity, such love. And I wonder if that is the true testament of forgiveness, how strong it is that it perseveres. I don't know about you all, but if you keep holding on to non-forgiveness, the story keeps coming around, right? It just perseveres because undergirding it all is love. Love wants to speak, to be made alive through your words, your actions, your kindness and generosity. And it will keep showing up. It's like that cute neighbor that just keeps knocking on your door. And sometimes at very inconvenient times. But it keeps showing up because that is our true essence. That forgiveness, I don't know, it's love and drag. It's love in another way. It's our true nature showing up yet again. Because this love is for giving. We can't just keep it inside. It is to be given, to be shared, for giving. And so Mary Oliver puts it this way: when we have hard times with allowing our expressions of love, and I'm including us in this too, because one of the ways we can be so rough, unkind, how we can refuse to awaken ourselves with our words, refuse to elevate ourselves with our deeds, or recite our own injury with kindness, as the Tao might put it. We must include ourselves in forgiveness. It's an inside job. If I were a perfect person, Mary Oliver says, I would be bowing continuously. I'm not. Though I pause whenever I feel this holiness, which is why I'm often so late, coming back from wherever I went. forgive me. Our lives, each of our lives, our misgivings, our going and coming back from wherever we went, our being late. Maybe we were all pausing for a moment to experience the holiness. Our own process. We're not perfect. She says if we were, we'd be bowing continuously in thanksgiving. Just saying, thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment. Thank you this moment for being my teacher. And yet, imperfect as we are, late, whatever it might be, we are coming back from wherever we went, which is a conversation with God, with love, with whatever we need to learn in this moment. So I invite all of us this Thanksgiving season to practice forgiveness with ourselves and consider that whatever the story is, whatever the experience is, often late, coming back from wherever you went, that it is actually perfection in action. That you are wholly made, that you are holy, and that all these creatures that come our way, even the drivers on the freeway, that they are our team. And they too, running a little late, doing their best. And may we trust in God, the universe, in this whole mysterious process. It's not all ours to do, but we show up and allow grace to move through us. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy forgiving. Thank you for being love. Peace.